Well, hello and Merry Christmas to all of you. And I want to thank everyone that's been watching my videos. My name is Sylvain Rochon from HomeStudioLogic.com and welcome to my studio. So I want also to wish you a Happy New Year for this upcoming year. 2026 shall be amazing. I wish you health. With health, well, we have everything else. So if our lives and we're not sick, well, we're able to do stuff. And today, while I'm healthy, I want to discuss with you animation. If you're new to mixing, maybe this video will help you see that animation is a great tool to get the results you want on each track, and there's different ways to doing it. So stick around and I'll show you exactly how I do it, and this might be very good for you. All right, so we are in Logic Pro. This is a song that I'm working on right now. It's actually, I would say, finished. And I want to demonstrate different ways you can set automation. So just to clarify what automation means, it means that you can automate volume to change on a specific track. You can automate plugins to come on and off during a track. You can automate, example, an echo to appear at the end of a sentence on the lead vocal. You can automate an EQ to come in at one certain spot just to remove something and then turn off. So that's very helpful when you're mixing a song. And I'll give you, stick around because at the end, I'll show you exactly in what purpose I use automation using an EQ to solve a problem that I had on this mix. So first of all, let me explain to you how you can automate volume. You can do it with the automation feature of Logic, or you can do it another way. It takes a little bit longer, but I do use it myself. Example, if you look at this track right here, this is a guitar track where there's multiple guitar licks that are being played. Sometimes I want them to be louder, and some other times I want them to be softer in the song. So you can hear them, but they're really, really in the background. And I could automate this with the automation feature of Logic, which I'm going to show you very soon, or you can slice your audio file like you can see here what I did. Like example, the first slice, I've got a plus 4 dB gain on the first one. On the second one, I've got a plus 9.3 gain. And then I'm going to 6 dB, and so on and so forth. So you understand what I'm doing. I'm taking each section, I'm slicing the audio file, and I'm actually changing the gain of each section so that they match that story building feature that we're trying to do with the song. Because if that solo, I call it solo, if that guitar would be at the same volume all across the song, it would create some issues with the lead vocal where they would come in conflict, if you understand what I'm saying. So I'll make you hear the beginning of the song and pay attention to this particular file here. And and I'll solo it first so you can put it in your brain which one it is. It's solo now. So this is the one I'm talking about. All right? So you can see what my intentions were by doing that is I wanted to have a little boost right here where sort of a lead if you want. And even that particular track, when it was sent to me by my good friend Stuart, he actually included in the same track the guitar solo, which I cut and I moved to another track which I labeled solo. I like to have my solos separately and not, I could have done automation, but let's say I want to put a different sound to that solo guitar. I want to maybe use a different compressor, maybe to change the tone. So doing this actually permits me to do whatever I want with it. Now, very important that you must know is when you're cutting your audio file, you need to put the crossfades like this. Because if you don't, you'll hear some like little ticks like this, and you don't want that. Now, if you're asking how do I cut the audio file, there's two ways you can do it. I actually use the feature Command T. So if I go to this one here, for example, on top here, and I want to cut it, so Command T, boom, it's cut. Now I'm going to remove that. Or if I want, I can go up here and I can use the scissor tool and I can cut it like that. So right now I decided to do this guitar by cutting. That's one way of doing it. Or you can use the automation tool right here. I think you can press on A on the keyboard. Yeah, you can press on A, or you can click right here to show the automation feature. So if I use this, you'll see that I also used automation on this guitar at the end. The reason being is that Stuart recorded a second track of guitars which actually harmonizes with the first one. And I wanted to make sure that both of them are working together. So if you have a listen here, you'll see that I'm automating from here to here. And this one here, even at the end, is going up a little bit because I felt it was needed. So let's have a listen to how it sounds. And what this does, it actually changes the fader. If you look at the fader right here, this will actually move the fader. Look at the fader. It's coming. See? Now let's discuss how I achieve that and how I do this. For example, let's go to this organ here because I've got no automation on it. Let's say I wanted to create automation where maybe in the middle of the solo, I want this organ to go up a level. Because right now, plus 2.2. I played around with this earlier, and I don't think that's the right volume. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. So let's say we'll set up at unity gain. Okay, so there's actually three ways you can do automation from here. The one that I prefer the most is that I always have this tool, the marquee tool, available. If I hold the command key and I press on left click, I can drag like this, and then you click in the middle. Well, sorry. Let's back up. I need to click first here so that the line appears. So right now my level is set to Unity, 0 dB. So let's say I want from there to here, click in the middle, so it separates it. I want to bump it up by 0.6 dB. Okay? I can increase the size so I can see the difference. And let's say I want to take this, and I want to move it just to make sure it's in the middle. And then I use this, and I want it to gradually come to that point. So right now, if you listen to this B3 organ from here, now it's at +6. All right, that's one way of doing it. So if you right click right here, you've got the option to delete animation, visible animation. So you're deleting this one. The other one underneath, if you have other automation, which I will explain later, you don't want to do that, because if you just want to erase this one, well, don't choose the other one, because everything that's been done on this track will be gone. All right, for sure you can do Command Z to undo, but let's say you forgot and you clicked on the wrong thing and you're doing something else. Sometimes Control Z can be far away. Don't put yourself in that situation. So delete visible automation. So now it's gone. So let's say I want to manually. There's two ways. If you click right here and you put it on touch, okay? Now, while it's playing, so you press on play, increase the volume, then I bring it down, then I bring it up again. And when you release your mouse, it automatically goes back to the first setting. That was 0.6 dB. As soon as you release your mouse, it goes back to the original setting. So right now you have automated this. It's something that I don't personally use, but I know a lot of people that are using this feature. For me, I prefer, let's say I'm automating vocals, and there's a particular word that is, even with the compressor, it's too low in level, and I want this word to be heard. I can just pinpoint exactly where the word is. I can highlight it using the marquee tool, and I can do exactly what I did before, and it does the same job. But some people like to do it. They're listening to the song and they're moving the fader up and down. I personally don't like that. And when you're done, very important to go back to read. All right? That's the first thing you need to do. Second thing, if I erase that again, and I can use the latch. The difference with the latch, it's the same thing. So if we press play here, I can lower down the volume. If I release my mouse, it doesn't go back to its initial level. It stays where I stopped. So that's another way of doing it. So I can do whatever I want here, like this, and then stop. There we go. This is the automation I created for this track. Now, yeah, you click here, you go back to read, and for this purpose, I am going to remove it. Delete automation. So that's the first thing that I wanted to show you, automating levels. I use this feature a lot. You see, I've got it on the guitars that I showed you before. I got it on the other guitar at the end. I'm using it on my drums. There's a drum fill during the solo that I thought that the tom roll was not at my liking. So I did automation so that when it gets to that drum fill, it goes up in level just a little bit, just to make that drum fill present, and then it goes back. So it's not a big level gain, but it's just enough so that drum fill is present, more present if you want, in the mix. Now, the other feature that I want to show you. On my lead vocal, I'm just going to turn it off. I'll solo my lead vocal, and hopefully you'll hear why I did this trick. All right? Around, 'cause I don't want you to see me cry. Did you hear that? Boom, 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 boom. Again. Around, 'cause I don't want you to see me cry. Yep, when I sang the lead vocal track, the best track that I did, I hit the mic stand. That's what you're hearing. Clock, 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 clock. The good thing on this song is I have doubles during the chorus, and the doubles are fine. So what I did, I automated an EQ right here. I'm just going to put it in the section. So this EQ actually is a high pass filter at 246 hertz. It's a brick wall. So everything underneath 246 is non-present. So it removes that microphone noise during the solo. So if I'm going to start here, and you'll see what it does. Right now, you can see that my EQ is bypassed. Okay, that's the global bypass button. Okay, so I'm going to press play. I want you to. I don't want you to see me cry. You can hear it just a little bit because it's dragging. I could actually do this. Oops. Sorry. That's not what I wanted to do. I don't want you to see me cry. I could actually do this, and now it's completely gone, but within the mix, and I'm going to bring it back to where it was, you're not hearing it.
Turn around, 'cause I don't want you to see me cry. Turn around, just
So now if you're asking how I did that, okay, so let's take this track here, for example, okay? Let me pull up this EQ. All right. So let's say I want to create this bump at this section right here. All right. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to go to main. No, sorry. I'm going to go to the EQ I inserted. Now I've got different options right here. Okay. Now you see the bypass feature here? That's what I want. So if I click in the middle here, now the line, right now it's not bypassed. So I have to drag the line over here so that it's bypassed all the time. Then I take my marquee tool. I choose this section here, click in the middle, boom. Now in this section here, if we look at this EQ right now, you can see that it's bypassed.
turn around, 'cause I don't want you to.
So that's how I do it. All right, so I'm just gonna delete visible and I'm gonna remove this. Boom, so it's not there anymore. Now, another feature you want to probably use this for, on this vocal track, I've got the sixth send. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number B29, bus number 29 is a echo. So if I click on it, it shows me that it's off. For the exception, it's at 0 gain until I get to this section. Because I'll make you listen to it, you'll see exactly what it's doing. Look at the B29 here gain. Look at what it's going to do. So it gives me an echo at the end of my phrase. So that's another way you can use automation. And the sky is the limit. On a other mix that I worked on last week, there was a piano track and there was a string track. And there's a little lick that's being done on the string track at a certain point. It's maybe, 6 notes, that the guy that wrote the song wants to make sure it appears like 2 times in the song. He wants to make sure that the 6 notes are properly heard. There's 2 ways of doing it. You can increase the volume of the string for that purpose. You can use an EQ with you find a sweet spot where you can easily hear them, maybe boosting in the upper mid-range of the frequency spectrum. Or what I decided to do, I automated the compressor from Logic because the compressor of Logic can be side-chained. The compressor is listening to the strings. So when it gets to that section, which is, it's not playing before it gets there. When it gets to that section, the piano hears the string and the compressor turns on and it compresses, so it's lowering down the gain for that particular area, then it goes back up. And that did the job beautifully. That's another way you can use automation if you want. So technically, that's about it about automation that I can show you right now. So technically, the sky is the limit. When you click here, you can see all your tools. Like, for example, if I would want to automate, I don't know, the UAD compressor at a certain point in the song, maybe I want to change the ratio, I want to change the release, or I want to change the output or the input, whatever you see there, those are the options you have. I can ask Logic, when it gets to that specific area in the song, to do that change using the compressor. That's pretty fun. So, yeah, does it take time to do that? Yes. Don't forget that when you're mixing a song, the song is a story. The composer, the person that wrote the song is telling a story, and you need the instrument to evolve with that story. So if it gets to an area, well, it's a little bit more, I don't know, vocal needs to be more present with the piano because the message is very deep. Maybe you want to decrease the other instruments at that certain point. So maybe using automation that would actually duck down using a compressor that's specific area in the song to make sure that you're realizing what your brain is hearing. Well, automation is the tool to use to do that. You agree? Anyhow, if you like content like this, you can subscribe to my channel. You can leave me a message. I would appreciate watching, or not watching, but reading your message, and I will answer it for sure. Until then, well, I'll probably see you. Yeah, we'll be in 2026 when I do my next video, which is in a week from now. Until then, have fun. Enjoy the parties if you want, and be safe. Please be safe. Don't drink and drive. All right. Thank you very much. Again, I'm Sylvain Rochon from HomeStudioLogic.com. Take care.